Remember when they told us that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction? Well, what if I told you that the weapon of mass destruction may have been a Stargate, Annunaki technology? Saddam believed that he was the reincarnation of Nebuchadnezzar, one of the kings of Annunaki bloodline. In fact, he had excavated artifacts from Babylon and was building a theme park, a huge, magnificent structure as a theme park, an Annunaki theme park. At the time, I was in Italy, and I lived by a NATO base, so when I'd go out, a lot of the times, I knew a lot of American soldiers. And something that stuck with me during the years was the fact that they were saying that they were going to get artifacts. And at the time, I was like, wait a second, you're invading a country for weapons of mass destruction, yet your mission is to go to a museum? What? When the troops invaded, they didn't go to science labs or facilities like that, or to where one would house such weapons. No, they went to the museums. The first thing that they raided were the museums. Right there, that is sus, right? Okay. So now that decades have gone by, can we please talk about it? They never found these famous weapons of mass destruction, but allegedly, they did take the Annunaki Stargate. Now, the Stargate wasn't active. In fact, you need to know how to function, how to make it work. Because a lot of people in my comments were like, well, if he had a Stargate, why didn't Saddam run away? Well, you cannot make it work. You're a human. You're not an Anunnaki. In the Anunnaki history, I found out that to make a Stargate work, you need to have an Ankh. This Ankh is your key with a specific inscription of your vibrational frequency, and it has to be tuned in to this special Stargate. Without the Ankh, without your code in it, you can't travel through it. And this was done this way so that normal humans could not pass through the Stargate, and only the Anunnaki royals could. That's why he couldn't use it, and that's why even the military can't use it. Now, if these allegations are true, we have a situation like the TV series Stargate 1. That could be considered a weapon of mass destruction, right? Why not? If it's a portal that can open up and all the Anunnaki soldiers come running in, I'm pretty sure that that could be considered a weapon and couldn't call it any other way. If not, they'd have to disclose that Stargates are real, that the Anunnaki were real. So this could be, and I'm not saying it is because of the guidelines, but it is a possibility, and it could be. So, all alleged, you do your own math and draw your own conclusions. Did Saddam Hussein have a Stargate? Because all the evidence points to this as being the real scenario. That's why they raided the museums. That's why they raided the Babylonian theme park of the Anunnaki theme park that Saddam built. And it just makes sense. And in case anyone has any doubts, you can Google it and you can find articles admitting that the Gulf War was an error. They are calling it bad intel. So if the cat's out of the bag that it was bad intel and nobody ever had these weapons of mass destruction, maybe the bad intel was that the Stargate was a functional one, and instead they wouldn't know how to activate it even if they tried.